How did Islam reach the people of Central Asia? Although Christianity, Buddhism, and Tengrism were always nearby, but in the end, people chose Islam. Around 610, a new religious movement began in Mecca. The basis of this movement was the doctrine of one God, and obedience was proclaimed as a principle of faith. The followers of this religion were called Muslims, which meant submitting to the will of God. The Islamic idea of the equality of all Muslims before God ensured the elimination of social contradictions in the social structure of the Arab tribes. In a short period, divided Arab tribes consolidated into a single religious community. This allowed Islamic ideology to be spread beyond the Arabian Peninsula towards North Africa, Sasanian Iran, and the Byzantine Empire. In the middle of 7th century, the Arabs completed the conquest of Sasanian Iran. In its western province of Khorasan, Caliph appointed a vassal, emir. In 651, the Arabs first appeared on the border of Central Asia under the walls of Merv, Herat, and Balkh. It is important to understand that Islamization of Central Asia did not occur evenly. This process lasted for many centuries. First were converted people in agricultural areas, for example, present-day Uzbekistan, where mixed forms of beliefs such as Zoroastrianism and Mazdaism dominated. Zoroastrianism is an Iranian religion revolving around good thoughts, good words, and good deeds. There is also a heavy emphasis on spreading happiness, mostly through charity and respecting the spiritual equality and duty of both men and women. Mazdaism is a term sometimes used to indicate the ancient Iranian religion that became Zoroastrianism. But in comparison to Zoroastrianism, Mazdaism considers the Ahura Mazda as one of the gods, equal to Mitra. The worldview of nomadic tribes was based on Tengrism, the worship of cult of the internal sky. Central Asia, being a civilizational junction and a transit zone for numerous trade routes, was a place of many cultures, religions, and traditions. And in the middle of the 7th century, these people faced an attack by Arabs with their Muslim beliefs. The first wave of Islamization started with Arabs simply carrying out the raids to seize treasure and demand tribute from the local rulers. And in the 8th century, when Central Asia became a part of the Arab Caliphate, a number of reforms were introduced in the conquered territories to strengthen Arab power. First, there was an active process of Arab migration and settlement in large cities. As a result, the formation of a Muslim way of life began in the territories between the Amur Darya and Sir Darya in the cities of Kharezm, Bukhara, and Samarkand. Second, other religions were banned. Some of the temples were destroyed or converted into mosques. Third, all converted Muslims were exempt from taxes. Fourth, Arab rulers provided various benefits to merchants who accepted Islam, for example, political patronage. The second wave started in the middle of the 8th century when the Abbasids replaced the Umayyad dynasty in the Islamic world. This launched the Shu'bite popular movement in Khorasan, which was anti-Arab in nature. This led to the weakening of the Caliphate's positions in the region. The first kingdom, independent from Arab rule, was established in Khorasan by Tahir in 821, but it seems that it was more a matter of political and territorial gain. Other major independent dynasties who ruled over Khorasan were the Safarids and the Samanids. Local dynasties began to spread Islam by themselves, but not by force, but with the support of the Islam clergy. At this time, Sunni Islam of the Hanafi madhab was established. The Hanafi school made it possible to remove the antagonism between social groups and the elites. In cities such as Samarkand and Bukhara, Hanafi theologians became defenders of various segments of the population. Therefore, they became the leaders of Islamic communities and leaders of self-governing bodies. During the third stage, Sufism as a movement in Islam was established. At the turn of the 9th-10th centuries, Sufi brotherhoods emerged, based on the traditions of Central Asian people and expressing ideas in the language of mysticism. The spread of Islam began not only in the cities but also in nomadic tribes. Sufism immediately found response in the hearts of ordinary people, and the Sufi brotherhoods turned into a unique Central Asian Muslim movement. That was a story of settled people in Central Asia. The process of Islamization among nomads was different due to a number of reasons. First, there was a large distance in ideological, linguistic, and ethno-cultural affiliation between steppe nomads and Arabs. Second, there were no cities, schools, or bazaars where Islam could be spread. People lived in wide spaces, therefore Islamic dogmas were too unfamiliar to the freedom-loving nomads, which were designed more for densely populated areas and strict subordination. Around the middle of the 10th century, a new Muslim state arose on the territory of Kızılar'da region, the Seljuk Empire. It was ruled by the Turkic nomads who were called Oghuz. According to the Iranian scholar-historian Atabaki Touraj, Islam initially established itself in the city of Turkestan. Then, according to the medieval Islamic historian Ibn al-Asir, the Samanid missionaries brought Islam to Kazakhstan city of Taraz. Islam became the official religion in the territory of modern Kazakhstan in 960 under the Turkic Karakhanid Khanate, which originated from a confederation formed by many Turkic nomadic tribes in the 9th century. The Karakhanid Khagan Musa Baytash Bogra Khan in 960 made Islam of the Hanafi madhab the state religion. The scholar-historian Maqdisi reported that already in the second half of the 10th century there was a mosque in every Karakhanid city. The first Mongol Khan to convert to Islam was Berke, Khan of Golden Horde, but Islam had not become a state religion yet. Later, Uzbek Khan made Islam of the Hanafi madhab the state religion of the Golden Horde. In the 15th century, three new Muslim states emerged on the territory of modern Kazakhstan: the nomadic Uzbek Khanate of Abul Khair Khan, the Nogai Horde, and the Kazakh Khanate. All Kazakh and Uzbek Khans were Hanafi Muslims. That was a brief summary of an introduction of Islam to Central Asia. The process of Islamization was uneven as the whole region was diverse in its cultural, linguistic, and religious affiliations. Thank you for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel and I'll see you next time. Bye bye!